I want to talk about the Senior Bowl, but first, we got to talk about the Pro Bowl. It's the first thing we got to talk about. So I'm on my run this morning, and I look down at my phone. I get a little notification, and what pops up? But Tyler Huntley is headed to the Pro Bowl in replace of Josh Allen. And my first thought is, how is that even an option? How did Tyler Huntley get there? And then my mind went, wait, who else could go in place of him? And then instantly, Kenny Pickett could go in place of him. You look at the numbers, it's even more crazy to think about. What was your reaction? I mean, you wrote the piece for us. What were you thinking when you saw Tyler Huntley in the Pro Bowl over Kenny Pickett?
Well, yeah, I mean, just anytime you can send a guy with a negative touchdown to interception ratio to the Pro Bowl, you just got to do it. That's just good television. No, and I mean, there's like, I don't get it. How does a guy start just 4 games, only play in 5 games this season, and make it to the Pro Bowl? Like that doesn't, like, he didn't even play a full season. This is, it makes no sense to me. From like a practical standpoint, just by the numbers. But even from like an entertainment value from standpoint for the NFL, like why you would send a career backup like Tyler Huntley, like no disrespect to him, that's tough to do, but over the intriguing kind of first quarterback taken overall in last year's draft, like there's a much better story there than there is. I mean, like shit, they did it for Mac Jones last year. Yeah. Why does Kenny Pickett not get that nod this year?
They should. I mean, you could talk about, I mean, Kenny Pickett also finished with a negative touchdown to interception ratio, but that's okay, because guess what? People showed up to watch Kenny Pickett play football. Nobody showed up to watch Tyler Huntley. Nobody went to a Baltimore Ravens game going, man, I cannot wait to see Tyler Huntley play football. That's what the Pro Bowl is. Like, you could say whatever you want about talent or impact or whatever. It's about who's showing up to watch these guys play flag football. And people are going to show up to watch Kenny Pickett play flag football. Nobody is turning on the Pro Bowl going, oh, Tyler Huntley's in, and then keeping it on. No disrespect to Tyler Huntley. I think he did a phenomenal job for what he was asked to do this year, and I think he stepped into big roles and nearly beat the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. But Kenny Pickett led a team back from nothing, finished on the highest note of the season, had the whole NFL raving about him by the end of week 18. I mean, it was just like, it was the obvious choice. It was so blatantly obvious. And I don't know who else was out there, but I mean, I don't even know who the AFC quarterbacks are, but you could have named, and like, did Deshaun Watson get passed up for Tyler Huntley? I can't even name other quarterbacks, but I know, did Mike White should have got a nod before Tyler Huntley.
I would rather watch Mike White sit back there and in a flag football game and just sling it. Like
put Skylar Thompson in there. People be super excited to go see Skylar Thompson in a Pro Bowl. Nobody showing up for Tyler Huntley. And granted, I think Tyler Huntley did a good job again for what he was asked to do, but I'm sorry. 658 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions is just, it's not Pro Bowl numbers. It's just not even close.
He didn't even crack 1,000 yards. And like that, no. I don't know. That just, there was no, like you said, Tyler Huntley did a good job for what he was asked to do, but he wasn't asked to do a whole lot. It wasn't a particularly strenuous job. And I just don't.
No, it was 5 appearances, and you got to remember that the Steelers knocked him out of one of them, so it's really 4.5 appearances, and it's just not Pro Bowl numbers. Like Mitch Trubisky did as much as Tyler Huntley did this season, 1 less games, granted, but just like how you pass Kenny Pickett up in a game that unless they called Kenny and said, hey, do you want to be an alternative? And he said no, but who in their right minds turned down a Pro Bowl check as a rookie to say, oh, no, I don't want to go play flag football and risk anything. Like, no, right. I'm going to go to the Pro Bowl and play flag football.
Well, I was thinking, what are the odds that Tyler Huntley woke up this morning and was like, oh, shit, like I was going to take vacation that weekend. Like, I don't want to go to the damn Pro Bowl. Like he was not, I'm sure, I have to imagine he was just as blindsided by this as everyone else.
Oh yeah, had to be. There's no way. Like, anybody. John Harbaugh probably called him, and he was just like, "You're joking with me. There's there's no way I'm headed to the Pro Bowl." Absolutely crazy. But the NFL makes very weird decisions all the time. This one is just wild to me. Like, this is the wildest decision they've made in a long time, I would say.